True wealth is not measured in money or power, but in love, kindness, and the bonds that give life meaning. Stay with us till the end. Amelia Hart was known as one of the most powerful CEOs in the city. With towering glass offices, expensive cars, and a reputation for being sharp and fearless, she had everything people admired except true happiness. Behind her confident smile lay a quiet emptiness, one she never admitted to anyone. Success had become her armor, but it also left her isolated. One rainy evening, while driving back from a business trip, Amelia's luxury car suddenly broke down on a deserted country road. Frustrated, she tried calling her driver and mechanic, but the storm had knocked out cell service. For the first time in years, she felt helpless. As the rain poured harder, she noticed the faint light of a small house nearby. With no other option, she grabbed her coat and hurried toward it. The door opened to reveal Lucas, a humble single father, holding a steaming mug in one hand and his young son Daniel by his side. His eyes showed surprise but kindness. Amelia, drenched and shivering, explained her situation. Without hesitation, Lucas invited her in. The warmth of the modest home instantly wrapped around her. It was nothing like her grand penthouse, yet it felt more alive. Daniel, curious but polite, offered her a blanket. Amelia was struck by the boy's gentle manners, so different from the spoiled children she often saw at elite gatherings. Lucas prepared her a simple cup of tea, apologizing for not having anything fancy. She smiled, realizing it was the first genuine conversation she'd had in a long time. That night, Amelia sat in their cozy living room, listening to Daniel's laughter and watching Lucas juggle between cooking, tidying up, and caring for his son. She saw no bitterness in him, despite the clear signs of struggle. For the first time, Amelia wondered, was this simple, love-filled life richer than her own world of power and wealth? It was the beginning of a connection that neither of them expected, one born not out of status or ambition, but of kindness and humanity. The next morning, Amelia woke to the sound of birds chirping outside the small wooden house. The storm had cleared, but her car still hadn't been fixed. Lucas insisted she stay until the mechanic could arrive from the nearby town. At first, Amelia hesitated. She wasn't used to depending on strangers, but there was something comforting in the sincerity of his offer. As the hours passed, she began to observe Lucas's daily routine. He woke early, prepared breakfast for Daniel, packed his school bag, and still found time to check on Amelia to make sure she was comfortable. Despite his modest resources, he carried himself with quiet dignity. Every gesture spoke of a man who put love above everything else. Amelia couldn't help but contrast this with her own life. She had assistants to manage her calendar, chefs to cook her meals, and drivers to take her anywhere, but none of it gave her the warmth she felt in that little home. Watching Lucas laugh with Daniel over burnt toast or patiently help him with homework made her realize how much of life she had missed while chasing boardroom victories. Later that afternoon, Lucas went out to work on small repair jobs in the neighborhood, taking Amelia along so she wouldn't be left alone. She was amazed at how the townspeople greeted him with respect, gratitude, and affection. Though he didn't own a company or command a boardroom, he had something she silently envied, a reputation built on kindness, reliability, and honesty. When they returned home, Daniel ran to Amelia with a drawing he had made. It showed the three of them under a bright sun, smiling together. Amelia felt her heart soften in a way it hadn't in years. She realized Daniel already saw her as part of their little world, and it stirred emotions she hadn't known she craved. In that simple home, Amelia began to understand that true success wasn't measured by wealth or status. It was found in love, humility, and the bonds we build with others. As days turned into a week, Amelia found herself unexpectedly enjoying the rhythm of life in Lucas's world. Her car was still waiting for a part, and instead of frustration, she felt a strange sense of relief. For once, her phone wasn't buzzing with endless meetings or deadlines. Instead, her mornings began with the sound of Daniel's laughter and the aroma of Lucas's simple but hearty breakfasts. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Amelia joined Lucas and Daniel on a walk through the quiet town. Daniel proudly held her hand, chatting about school, while Lucas carried a basket of groceries. The townspeople greeted them warmly, and Amelia noticed how everyone respected Lucas not for his wealth, but for his integrity. She admired how he treated each person with dignity, no matter their background. Later that night, Daniel asked Amelia to read him a bedtime story. She hesitated at first but agreed. Sitting beside him, with Lucas quietly watching from the doorway, Amelia felt something stir deep within her. She wasn't the cold, untouchable CEO in that moment. She was just a woman, sharing a simple joy with a child who saw her as family. After Daniel fell asleep, Amelia and Lucas sat together on the porch under a sky full of stars. The conversation shifted from casual to personal. Lucas shared the story of losing his wife and the struggles of raising Daniel alone. He admitted there were nights he nearly broke under the weight of responsibility, but Daniel's smile always gave him strength. Amelia listened in silence, her heart moved by his vulnerability. She realized how rare it was to find such honesty. Unlike the men she had met in her corporate circles, Lucas had no pretenses, no hidden agendas, only a heart full of love and resilience. As the cool breeze brushed past, Amelia caught herself looking at Lucas differently. His struggles had shaped him into someone stronger, kinder, and more genuine than anyone she had ever known. And slowly, without realizing it, she was falling for him not because of what he could offer her, but because of who he was. The day finally came when Amelia's car was ready. As she packed her things to leave, she felt a heaviness in her heart. What was supposed to be an inconvenient delay had turned into the most meaningful chapter of her life. Daniel hugged her tightly, refusing to let go, and Lucas thanked her with the same humble smile he had worn since the day they met. Driving away, Amelia glanced in the rearview mirror and saw Lucas and Daniel standing in front of their small home. For the first time in years, her chest ached not from stress, but from the thought of leaving something truly real behind. Back in her glass tower office, Amelia was surrounded by luxury, but everything felt different. The laughter in boardrooms seemed hollow, and the lavish parties felt empty. The world that once defined her success now appeared shallow compared to the warmth of that modest home. Nights grew restless as her mind replayed moments of Daniel's innocent drawings and Lucas's quiet strength. Weeks later, Amelia made a decision that stunned everyone in her company. She took a step back from her CEO role, delegating more power to her team. Then, without hesitation, she returned to the little town where her heart had found peace. When she appeared at Lucas's door, Daniel rushed out, shouting, "Auntie Amelia." Lucas, surprised but speechless, simply looked at her with searching eyes. Amelia smiled softly and said, "I've lived in a world full of wealth, but it never felt like home. With you and Daniel, I finally found what I was missing." Lucas didn't respond with grand words, he simply reached for her hand. In that simple gesture, Amelia knew she had made the right choice. She wasn't just a CEO anymore, she was a woman who had chosen love, kindness, and family over empty success. Together, they began a new chapter not defined by titles or wealth, but by laughter, resilience, and a love strong enough to rewrite their lives. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more motivational videos.